What's up? What's up? Good evening. Good evening. It is your boy, Mr. Opinionated, coming to you this evening to talk just briefly for a moment. Got my little knitted cap on, my pajamas, little orange soda. I want to talk about a post that I shared that it made sense. It talked about options and dating. So I thought, do people know the difference between dating and courting? Now, for those of my friends who were in youth group with me back in the day, I don't know if you all remember. I'm not sure who was teaching the class. I believe it was Sister Dice. She was teaching the class, and we were talking about dating and courting and the differences. Hey, Rosie, what's going on? And I do not think that people really understand the difference between dating and courting. Now, as I understood the lesson way back in the day when we were teenagers, dating is when you are talking to multiple people. You may be going out to the movies, you may be having dinner, or have you not going to the park, going to the opera, and things like that. But it's not a committed situation. You're kind of, if you want to use the word auditioning, you're socializing, you're having fun and things of that nature. So when you're dating, you can date multiple people. You can date as many people as you want to date. And there is no difference if this is male or female, women and men, because we tend to make the rules different. And this whole thing called body count, but that's a whole nother subject. So when you're dating, you get to date multiple people. Can have a date Monday night, can have a date Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday, and they can be with different people. Look, Marvin put up auditioning. Yeah, auditioning. And let me throw a disclaimer in there. Auditioning does not mean sex. That's an add-on to this live. So you can have 5 different dates. You can have 7 different dates a week, a different person every day. You can have a date in the earlier part of the day, and you can have somebody a dinner date. You can have a breakfast date. You can have a lunch date. Then you can have a dinner date. You're dating. You are talking to multiple people. You're trying to see who you like. You're trying to see if you have something in interest with one person or another. Courting is different. Courting is very different. Courting is when you two have come into an exclusive situation and you've discussed it. We're going to date exclusively, meaning that you're not going to talk to different people and I'm not going to talk to different people. The problem is a lot of people do not have this conversation. They just assume. They assume that because they've been out on a couple of dates, they've kicked it, they've Netflixed and chilled, that they are in a courting relationship situation. No, it's not true. That's why I named this video, Do You Know What Kind of Relationship You're In? Because many people don't know what kind of relationship they're in. They're not in a covenant relationship. There are no papers. There's been no discussion, no talk. And they just think that they are a thing. And then add in sex, which complicates everything. I always encourage people not to incorporate that into their dating if they don't want things to get crazy, because there's things called soul ties and you get attached and then you think things are what they are. However, there are some people that will be upfront and tell you that this is only a sleeping with each other situation. Now I can appreciate those people because they're honest. Then you have the people that are not honest that will just get entanglements with you and won't tell you. And then you find out they are dating or have started a relationship with somebody else and they ghost you or something like that. So it's very important that you know what kind of relationship you're in, what kind of structure. You know that just because you're dating somebody does not mean you're committed. I mean, and we've seen it all up and down the timeline. Good man, a good woman, and this person did this, and this person did that, and this person did that. But if you ask them, like, what was the structure of your relationship? Were you dating? Were you courting? Were you exclusive? And some people will tell you, like, well, we didn't have that talk. We just have been out, we kicked it. We've been on vacation together and we slept together and things like that. But you didn't really talk about what you were. So why are you mad? What are you mad and you didn't know what you were in for? A lot of people get mad because they don't have discussions. They don't communicate about what they are. And then it's a big, big mess. Why? Because you didn't talk about it. Number two, because you did not understand what you are in. So it's very important in 2021 that if you are in a relationship with somebody, that you know what kind of relationship it is. If you are simply dating somebody, which means you're going out with them, you're hanging out with them, you're watching movies, not a lot of stuff is open, but you're just basically spending time meeting each other. That does not equate courting. That does not equate relationship. So we need to stop getting out of our feelings and making things what they are really not. If you're texting back and forth, that does not mean you're dating. That does not mean you're exclusive. If you're talking on the phone till 3 o'clock in the morning, that does not necessarily mean you're dating. You need to have a discussion. Start having discussions about your relationships and things that you're doing. Marvin said, assume makes a fool out of you. Absolutely, because people are assuming that they are in these committed relationships and they're not. And when they see somebody else on a date with them, or their friend sees it, or they see a Facebook post, then people getting in their feelings. And this is not limited to women. I just want to make that clear, because a lot of people think that women just engage in these type of things. No, men engage in these type of things. Men gets in their feeling as well. Why? Because they do not have a discussion. You have to have a discussion, especially if you are engaging with people in sexual relations. Now, I know that we are living in the world of do whatever makes you feel good, whenever it makes you feel good, however it makes you feel good. However, let's not forget that we have things called sexually transmitted diseases. We have things that we can get rid of. We have things that we can't get rid of. We have things that are resistant to antibiotics. So in your dating and in your courting, let's make sure that we are remembering those things. Now, I am an advocate of getting into committed relationships and being upfront and talking about them. There's nothing beats honesty. So honesty is the best policy. But please, in 2021, let's not flood our timelines with disappointments from things that we thought were relationships, but they weren't ships at all. They were just you with one oar and somebody with the other oar, and you were in the same canoe going in different directions. You didn't know what was going on, and now you're all in the mess. And one person is mad, and the other's like, I don't know what they're mad for, because we were just kicking it. We were just dating. We were not courting. And it does not always mean that you need to have a ring to be in a exclusive, committed relationship, but there needs to be a discussion. Let's start discussing. A lot of people don't have discussions because they don't want to know what things really are. They don't want to be disappointed. But having these kind of discussions can ensure, not totally ensure, but kind of will help you make sure that you're not wasting your time with somebody who is not for you. You can have telltale signs and red flags, and things can pop up to let you know that person is not for you. If you are not, if you were not the kind of person that wants children and they have children, and you're talking about this thing, that needs to be a discussion. If you don't like smoking and this person is a smoker, and you know that that's not for you, that may be somebody that you'll go out on a date with, but that may not be somebody that you want to get in a committed relationship with you. You may be a drinker. They may not be a drinker. You may want to drink all the time. They may not want to be around somebody that drinks all the time. So that may be a situation where they'll go out on a date with you, but they do not want to court you. They don't want to be in a extended relationship with you. So these are just some things that we need to start discussing, because when you go down a timeline, it seems like a lot of people want to be in relationships. Hey, Jerry, a lot of people want to be courting, and a lot of people want Netflix and chill, and a lot of people want bays and booze, but they really don't know what's going on. They're just lonely. They just want somebody to hang out with, or they want to be in an exclusive situation, and they really have not counted up the costs. They see something and they say, oh, those are relationship goals, and they really don't know what kind of relationship they're in. They don't know what people are going through, because everything looks good on social media with pictures and videos and anniversaries and things like that. So in 2021, know the status of your relationship. Know if you're in a relationship. And if you don't want to be in a relationship, tell people that. Don't just be going up sleeping around with people, having them get in their emotions, then ghosting them, or then later saying, I don't want to be in a relationship. And you knew you didn't want to be in a relationship in the first place, but you were lonely and you wanted some companionship that was a little bit more intimate. Tell people those. Give people an opportunity to say, I do not want to do that. Give people an opportunity to say, that's not what excites me. Give people an opportunity to say, you know what, I'll take that. Stop being, some people are deceptive. Stop being deceptive, and stop withholding information and not sharing it and then saying I'm not being deceptive. Be open, have these conversations so that people can go on and be merry with their lives, so that if you don't want to court, tell people I'm not looking for anything serious. A lot of people, and that there's nothing wrong with not looking for anything serious. You just need to say that up front. A lot of people, oh, my pajamas, I think my grandma bought me these pajamas for Christmas. These are one of my favorite pajamas. They're warm and they're great for the wintertime. Thank you, Rosie. So yeah, you got to know the status of your relationship. It's important. I mean, and you may not want to be one of those people that you date. And when you get old and gray, it's like then you want to be in a committed relationship. That's a whole nother subject, because you just need somebody to take care of you. Well, D says you deserve a check for this message. You know what? That would be nice, but I just thought, it's January, it's the beginning of the year. We need to discuss things like this, because I see so many people that they like, oh, I want to bae, I want to be in a relationship, I want to get married, I want this and I want that. And they don't even know what they're in. They just want to date for fun. There's nothing wrong with wanting to date for fun if that's what you want to do. But you need to be upfront. You need to be upfront about that. You need to be upfront about if you have children. You need to be upfront about your living situation. You need to be upfront about your credit if it gets that serious. Let's stop hiding things under the bed and in the closet. And if you are seriously considering a relationship, or you want to be committed, or you want to court, you need to lay everything out on the table, and you need to have that discussion if it gets to that point. However, if you just want to date, tell people, I only want to date. I want somebody to go out to the movies with. I want to kick it with people every now and then. I don't want anything serious. Now if you can't handle that, if you're not, and I won't say if you're not mature enough for that, don't do it. Because another thing is, we can't tell people that, oh, I'm just okay with dating. And then we get mad when they don't want a relationship, when they've been upfront about the situation. So that's also another thing. If you can't handle it, if you don't want to tell people, you know what, that's not what I'm looking for. Or, you know what, I don't think that's going to work out. Be upfront about what you're looking for and what you want. There is nothing wrong with being alone. Loneliness and alone are two different things. You have to be content with being alone. Sometimes you have to be content with being with yourself, because when you're with yourself, you get to know yourself, and you get to know what you are and aren't going to put up with, because a lot of times there are just deal breakers and things that we do not like and we are not going to put up with. But when we don't tell people this, and when we don't share that information, that makes it so much more complicated. So that's my message, my 2021 beginning of the year message. I just want to encourage you to be upfront, to know the status of your relationship, to know if you're in a relationship, to know if you're just going out on a date, to sharing what your non-negotiables are, to share things that you will budge on a little bit, because sometimes you have to budge a little bit. You have to give to get, and there's nothing wrong with that. So just know what's going on, know the status of your relationship, and be upfront and personal, and most of all, communicate. There's nothing wrong with being on different pages. There's nothing wrong with not being a fit. If you're not a fit for somebody, you can be friends. You're going to always need friends in this world. Nothing wrong with remaining friends with somebody when a situation did not work out in a dating or relationship sphere. There's nothing wrong with that. But the key is to be upfront and be honest. So if this video touched a nerve, if it made sense, do me a favor and hit that share button, and I will talk to you guys later. Cheers.